Hi everyone, and welcome to Avalon Garden. My name is Lisa, and today we are here at Pensacola Beach. It is Saturday, December 22nd, and it is about 60 degrees. Today's purpose is to explain how we ended up here in Pensacola. With all the choices that we had of places to move, why did we choose this place? So we're going to take a walk on the beach, and I'm going to explain this as we go. So our story begins in the year 2020. We had already planned on going to Hawaii. We usually book our trips in January. And so we already had a trip planned to go to Hawaii, and we were all set. Well, we all know what happened in the spring of 2020, and our plans were canceled. We could no longer go to Hawaii because it was closed. So as a teacher, I needed to go somewhere, and I wasn't going to sit in the house all summer and do nothing. So my husband and I looked into what place was open. And we did a little research, and my husband had a friend who lived in the Florida Keys. He called him up and said, "Hey, we're thinking about coming to the Keys, and we'd like to see you." His friend said, "Well, I don't live in the Keys. I live near Clearwater." Well, we had never heard of Clearwater before, didn't know where it was, but his friend said it's by a beach, Clearwater Beach. So we looked into it, and we went ahead and booked a flight to Tampa, and we drove over to Clearwater. Beautiful beach. We stepped onto the white sand beach. I was a little apprehensive at first because usually beach sand burns your feet. And there was quite a distance from the beach to the water, kind of like here, except more. So my husband tested it out, and the beach sand was not hot. It was powdery white, like you see here. Sometimes this sand looks like snow. It's quite amazing. We really enjoyed our stay at Clearwater, and it was so beautiful. The sand was so amazing. We knew we were going to move at some point. We just didn't know when or where. And Clearwater really kind of sealed the deal for me. You had beautiful weather, beautiful beach, and the Gulf Coast is so pretty. The water is so pretty. And I could grow food all year, which was a big plus for me. So we went home after that trip, and I started looking for property. Around 2 acres we felt was about the right amount for me to have the gardens that I wanted and enough space to do what we needed to do. So we started looking for property all the way from Sarasota, Florida, all the way north past Tampa and across to Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter Farms. And we kind of mapped out an area to focus on. So in the year of 2021, we flew back down and we looked at a bunch of property. Didn't fall in love with anything specifically. We did like Jupiter Farms, but it was too expensive and it was wetland. So we came home after 2021, kept looking for property, and didn't really find anything that we really wanted to look at specifically. So then we kind of stopped looking, and my husband was looking at pictures on the internet of different cities all around, different communities, towns all around the Gulf Coast, and he came across a place called Mexico Beach. And Mexico Beach was really pretty beach community. The problem was there wasn't an airport nearby. With my husband's work, he needed an airport. So we said, well, what is the nearest town that has an airport closest to Mexico Beach? We followed the beach up north and we came to Pensacola. Never been here, never heard of it, but we started to look for property as a possibility. We found some property near Pensacola that was not considered wetland. Most of the property that we had found was wetland, and so we kind of ruled that out. This one particular property kept coming up on my feed, and that was the 9 acres. It was a little over our price range, and so I just kept looking. And it kept popping up on my feed. So after about 2 months of this piece of property kind of continually popping up, we decided to go ahead and take a deeper look at it. We got to the point where we decided to go ahead and call Bob Keenry, who is a land specialist in Navarre. We asked him if he would be willing to go ahead and go look at this piece of property for us. We told him our story, how we were from Washington State, and we were looking to move. He went ahead and went out to look at it. He was really surprised because this particular piece of property had not come up on his feed, and he said it was a really nice piece of property. So we decided to go ahead and make an offer lower than what the list price was. And this put us in our price range. To our surprise, they agreed to our offer. We thought for sure that they would go back and forth with us, but they didn't. They accepted our offer, and we had several weeks to go ahead and look at it and decide whether or not we wanted to go through with the sale. Mike flew down 2 weeks later and looked at the property with Bob and loved it. Now remember, I had never been here, never seen anything, never been to Pensacola, nothing, never saw the property. That following spring break, we flew out so that I can see the property and got my first walkthrough. Got to see Pensacola, see the beach, and kind of see where we were going to be moving. That's how we ended up here in Pensacola and the Pensacola area. We had looked for property in a lot of different areas. We looked in South Texas, we looked in South Carolina, but we knew after going to Clearwater that we wanted to be on the Gulf Coast. It was just so beautiful. So that's our story. That's how we ended up here. Thank you for joining me on Avalon Garden, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you next time.